What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over pitching with you guys, and specifically Pinpoint. I cannot lie to you, I got very lucky when I first started playing this game. I couldn't hit for shit, but for whatever reason I figured out Pinpoint pretty quickly, and I thought it was a common thing, and it's not, apparently. So what I want to do is try to help you guys get better with Pinpoint. I will try to go over tunneling with you as well, in addition to Pinpoint, but I really want to focus on Pinpoint in this video because Pinpoint does make a big difference. Now, hitting's a little weird in this game, and pitching, I don't know what they did with pitching. With if you dot a corner, it's called a ball. Whatever. You still want to be able to have the ability to dot pitches the best you possibly can because it may induce a swing that could result in an out. So we're going to start off in custom practice. I am definitely not going to be the Dodgers. Well, let's start with doing this. Sure, the Orioles and the Yankees. Okay, so Pinpoint. You guys kind of get the idea of it, right? If you don't, I'll go over it with you. You pick a pitch. We're going to start with something simple, a fastball. Now, you want to mimic the little tracing thing in the center. I wish I knew what it was. And boom, execute. Now, I understand now that this may be a little difficult for people. So what I want to suggest is your thumb movement, right? So I'm going to do the best I can with the camera. As you can see, I have some thumb grips. The thumb grips help. This helps right here. This really makes a difference for me. Without it, I feel like, look, I'm going to take it off and I'll see if I could pitch better with it. So look, I'm going to do it. Still not bad. That's pretty good, actually. Well, let me try something else. Fastball's a little simple. We'll do a circle change. Yeah, see, I'm a little wobbly and messed up. Not a bad pitch, but this gives me so much more movement with my thumb, so much more control with my thumb. Now, your thumb movement and control is very, very important. So what I mean by this is slider. We'll start with slider, for example, because this is going to help me explain it way better. You see how it traces almost like a reverse G? What you want to do is, as we mimic the movement, you move. Did it terrible. Try one more time. You want to go very smooth around with the thumbstick, around with the analog stick. And also, you kind of want to be stiff with it too. So you almost want to like hold it down like as hard as you possibly can around the analog stick. So again, show you. Like I am not letting my thumb wiggle at all. If you do it too lightly, this is what happens when you do it too lightly. See? You're like your analog stick is going to push off and it's not going to allow you to get the proper movement. So again, we'll do the slider. I'm holding it very stiff and making sure I'm not letting go and then dropping down. That's what I'm doing. Okay? Same thing with the cutter. Look, we go very stiff and boom. That's it. It was a little late, but you guys see. Now I understand the dropping from the top to the bottom is a little difficult as well, right? You're bringing down the analog stick into the little hole, if you will, as soon as Cole is about to release as soon as the pitcher is about to release the ball. So this is where this also may be difficult for people too. You have to, it's like perfect hitting, right? You have to be so precise. I wouldn't say so precise, but you have to be so in tune with the release of the ball and when you drop it down to pitch that it's like it's like hitting a perfect. Everything lines up perfectly, right? So I'll do it one more time. I'm going to do my thumb movement, holding still, not letting go, and boom, right there. You just got to find, this is where like you could go in the practice and do this. You just got to recognize when that ball is about to be released from his hand. You got to figure out the pitcher's tempo of when he's throwing the ball. Now, when you're throwing from the stretch, it's going to be a little quicker, and I understand it's going to be a little more difficult. But this is really all you need to do. Just follow the movements. Even though it wasn't good, it wasn't a good thrown pitch, I still had the movement down. So, again, one more time to reiterate. Well, this one's a little tough. Okay. One more time. With your thumb, you're moving to the rhythm of what the Pinpoint is telling you to do, and your thumb movement is very important. You're holding down as you're tracing right? You're holding it down. You're not letting go at all until you have to pitch, and then you bring it down. I like bringing it down hard. It kind of makes me feel like I'm really involved. So with the cutter, you're tracing it and you're holding. You're not letting go. You're making sure that that thumb does not wiggle at all. It cannot wiggle under any circumstances, because again, if you do it too lightly, that's what you get. I'm doing it super light, and it's not going to work out for you. So you don't have to do this in game. You could just practice in practice, or if you want to practice in Conquest, whatever it may be, but practice it, because I guarantee you, you're going to see a huge difference in your pitching, and you're going to feel way better about your approach to the strike zone. Because if you're just relying on meter, for example, and if you start getting rocked and you have no meter, you're just going to feel helpless, and you feel like everything you're going to throw is going to get hit. Whereas with Pinpoint, yes, I have moments where I'm getting rocked, but also I have moments where, like, all right, I threw a bad pitch there. Let me attack this guy a different way, but I know I can pitch well, and I know I could get this guy out. So that's really it for Pinpoint, guys. And we're going to get into tunneling too. But that's it for Pinpoint. And if there's any questions, I could give a follow-up. I could go into detail more in the comments if you guys have any questions, and I would love to go over it with you guys again, if need be. But that's my take on it. Now we'll get into tunneling. So I'm using Strike Zone 2. This is what I hit. I hit with Strike Zone 2. I know it's not common by the big streamers and the top players, but I like Strike Zone 2. I like a little aesthetic in addition to competitive gameplay. Now, tunneling, if you guys don't know, I'll give you an example of it. A very common tunnel is, we'll start with the fastball right here. Boom. All right. Fastball inside, right? Then, if I wanted to tunnel, let's say to be savvy, and he took the first pitch, I'll throw another fastball there. Just a little higher, right? The thing would be like, all right, he's hit me with the fastballs. What should I expect next? It could be another fastball. What I like to do, if you have a cutter, throw that cutter really inside to the best of your ability. Really inside. Because it's going to look like a fastball coming out of the hand. However, it's going to be a cutter. The same works with a slider. A slider looks very much, it's a hardly thrown pitch. Slider looks very much like a fastball out of the hand. It was not a great slider. But let's say I throw that fastball, and I want you guys to keep your eyes on Cole's arm. Boom. Fastball. You see how that fastball comes in? Now look at the cutter. Identical, right? It wasn't a good thrown cutter, but you guys get the idea. Obviously, if you keep throwing fastball, 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 eventually he's going to crush it. So you want to do your best to mix it up more. If you try to hit him 2 times or one too many times with a fastball, he's going to sit on it. So then you throw, instead of a first pitch fastball, throw a slider in there. I fucked up the pitch, but throw a slider in there. Right? That's going to get your opponent. That's going to really, really bother your opponent. If you think he knows what's coming and he doesn't, and like you throw him off with a cutter or a slider, maybe it's over here, maybe it's more inside, and he's sitting on it, and he's thinking like, I'm gonna hit this fastball. It looks like a fastball. It's a slider. All right. So that's that with tunneling. And other pitching tips I would suggest, just get funky with it. Right. If you're playing a hitter, a guy who, if you throw him an inside fastball and he hits, like he fouls it off early, don't throw it again until later. What I mean by that is just keep throwing away. Throw fastball away. Throw anything away from him, right? Make him really, really be like, all right, maybe he's not going to throw the fastball anytime soon, so let me go outside. And then when you think you've given him enough pitches to the outside, try to sneak a fastball inside. And I guarantee you, he won't be like, it'll probably either hit it or I think more than likely result in an out. That's how I go about it. Just get funky, get creative. And always mix up your pitches. I like to mix up my sequence after the 3rd or 4th inning, because I've given up way too many games where I was cruising for a few innings and then my opponent just picked up my tendencies and figured me out, and it was a wrap. So guys, use Pinpoint to your advantage. I hope everything I mentioned about Pinpoint was helpful. Like I said, I will go over more in the comments or in another video if it wasn't elaborate enough. But like I said, your thumb movement is very, very important. Get precision rings and get a thumb grip. I guarantee you will feel a difference. And also use a wired controller, guys. Wired controller and monitor, just in general, because it's gonna, if you really want to be competitive in this game, you need it. I was playing without one, and for a while, and it makes a huge difference. and a wired controller too. If you can't get the monitor, start with the wired controller. And that's all for the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, let me know if anything in the comments, anything you want to suggest, or any other questions, and I will be more than glad to answer them. And like and subscribe. Peace.